If you are over 60 years old and you currently believe that walking is the single greatest form of exercise you can possibly do for your body, I urgently want you to hit pause on this video for just a brief moment and truly absorb what I am about to tell you. Because the information I am about to share has the potential to completely revolutionize your understanding of your own health, your physical strength, your daily energy levels, and even the total number of years you will live with vitality. For decades, we have been consistently told that walking is the safest, most intelligent, and most effective physical activity to maintain wellness as we grow older. And while walking certainly remains a beneficial and enjoyable activity, cutting-edge research and undeniable real-world evidence now demonstrate that there is one exceptionally simple exercise that surpasses walking in its benefits for individuals over 60. And the most startling part is that the vast majority of seniors are completely neglecting to do it at all. The undeniable and shocking reality is that this single movement has the profound capacity to rebuild your deteriorating muscles, safeguard your vulnerable joints, dramatically improve your sense of balance, fortify your cardiovascular system, enhance your cognitive function, and substantially lower your risk of experiencing falls, long-term disability, and even premature mortality. And the absolute best aspect of this exercise is that you do not require a costly gym membership. You do not need any expensive or complicated equipment, and you certainly do not need to already be in excellent physical condition to get started. All you truly need is a few dedicated minutes each day and the proper safe guidance to perform it correctly. And right here, in this very video, I am going to provide you with exactly that essential guidance. A warm and heartfelt welcome to this channel, my dear friend. If you are joining us for the first time, please know that this is your dedicated home for authentic, uncomplicated, and scientifically substantiated health and fitness advice designed to promote strong, vibrant, and autonomous living after the age of 50 and well beyond. And if you are a returning viewer, I want you to know that I am genuinely and deeply thankful to have you back with me once again. The subject we are delving into right now ranks among the most critical topics for those of us focused on aging gracefully and powerfully. I strongly urge you to remain with me and watch this video all the way through to its conclusion, because not only am I going to reveal the specific exercise that outperforms walking for those over 60, but I am also going to demonstrate precisely how to execute it with absolute safety, how frequently you should incorporate it into your schedule, and how to seamlessly weave it into your everyday routine, even if you are currently dealing with knee discomfort, persistent back issues, or chronic low energy. Now, I want to ask you something with complete honesty. Have you ever experienced the frustrating sensation that no matter how many miles you log walking, your legs continue to feel frail and unreliable, your balance remains unsteady and precarious, and your overall stamina simply does not measure up to what it used to be? Please know that you are absolutely not alone in this experience. Millions of senior citizens walk on a daily basis and yet still find themselves grappling with progressive muscle deterioration, poor postural alignment, nagging joint pain, and debilitating fatigue. The underlying reason for this is straightforward. Walking is a primarily forward motion activity that repeatedly engages the same restricted set of muscles, and it does remarkably little to counteract the age-related loss of muscle mass and function, which is medically known as sarcopenia. Once we pass the age of 60, our bodies begin to lose muscle tissue at a pace that outpaces our ability to rebuild it, unless we actively and consistently challenge our physical framework. And muscle tissue is not merely about aesthetics or appearing strong. Muscle is fundamentally essential to life itself. Muscle acts as a protective cushion for your joints. It plays a vital role in stabilizing your blood sugar levels. It provides essential support for your skeletal structure, and it empowers you to move, react swiftly, and maintain your independence in daily living. Here is a critical piece of information that escapes most people's awareness. The single most powerful predictor of whether you will be able to live independently in your 70s, your 80s, and even beyond is not your body weight. It is not your cholesterol numbers, and it is not even the total number of steps you accumulate each day. The true determining factor is the sheer strength of your legs, the steadfastness of your balance, and the speed and ease with which you can transition from a seated position to a standing one. And this brings us directly to the one exercise that unequivocally surpasses walking for individuals over 60. That exercise is the wonderfully simple, remarkably potent, and profoundly life-altering movement known as the chair squat. Yes, you heard me absolutely correctly. The act of standing up from and sitting down onto a sturdy chair, when performed with proper form, is undeniably one of the most powerful and beneficial exercises for seniors anywhere in the world. It may appear deceptively simple on the surface, but it effectively activates the largest and most metabolically significant muscle groups in your entire body, including your thighs, your hips, your gluteal muscles, your core abdominals, and your lower back. These are precisely the same muscle groups you depend on for walking efficiently, climbing staircases, rising from your bed, carrying grocery bags, and crucially, for preventing falls. Unlike walking, which tends to become easier and less demanding over time as your body adapts, chair squats consistently challenge your body in a safe and controlled manner that actively builds functional strength rather than merely sustaining movement. Allow me to illustrate this with a clear picture for you. Every single time you rise from a chair, you are effectively lifting almost your entire body weight against the relentless force of gravity. That is authentic functional strength training in action. Walking, by stark contrast, only supports a small fraction of your body weight at any given moment because one foot is always maintaining contact with the ground. This is precisely the reason why an individual can walk for miles every single day and still find it incredibly difficult to get up from a low-lying chair. It is not because they are lazy or unmotivated. It is because walking alone simply does not condition the specific muscles in the manner that the real demands of daily life require. Now, before you allow any worry to creep in and you start thinking, I am far too old for this kind of exercise, or my knees could never withstand that kind of movement, let me offer you some immediate reassurance. The chair squat ranks among the safest exercises you can possibly perform when it is executed with correct technique. In fact, physical therapists and rehabilitation specialists all around the globe routinely utilize this fundamental movement as a cornerstone for injury rehabilitation, fall prevention strategies, and long-term mobility maintenance. You retain complete control over the depth of your squat, you dictate the speed of your movement, and you always have the stable chair positioned securely behind you, ready to offer support. It perfectly accommodates your body exactly where it is, right at this moment. Let me walk you through the proper technique for doing it safely. Begin by positioning yourself on the front edge of a stable, non-slip chair, with your feet placed flat on the floor and spaced approximately shoulder width apart. Maintain a tall, upright chest. Allow your shoulders to relax naturally and keep your gaze directed forward. Gently initiate the movement by leaning your torso slightly forward from your hip joints. Then firmly press through your heels and slowly, deliberately rise to a standing position. At the top of the movement, make sure to stand fully upright without locking your knees rigidly. From there, gently bend your hips and knees and carefully lower your body back down under complete control until you make a soft, gentle contact with the chair. And that, in its entirety, constitutes a single repetition. If you require extra support in the beginning stages, you may place your hands lightly on the armrests of the chair for added stability. As you grow stronger and more confident in the movement, you can progress by crossing your arms over your chest to increase the challenge. Now, let me share with you something truly powerful and compelling. Scientific studies have demonstrated that seniors who are capable of performing a greater number of sit-to-stand repetitions within a 30-second time frame tend to live longer, experience fewer falls, and maintain a higher degree of independence compared to those who cannot manage as many repetitions. This single fundamental movement is actually a more accurate reflection of your biological age than many standard medical diagnostic tests. That is precisely how critical and meaningful this exercise truly is for your long-term health and well-being. However, the remarkable benefits of this movement do not stop at your leg muscles. When you consistently perform this exercise, your heart is required to work more diligently, your overall circulation improves significantly, your delivery of oxygen to tissues becomes more efficient, and your metabolic rate becomes more effective. This translates directly into improved stamina, heightened daily energy, and superior overall cardiovascular health compared to what walking alone can deliver. You are not merely strengthening your skeletal muscles. You are effectively strengthening your entire physiological system. And here is an even more exciting dimension to consider. When you challenge your muscles through resistance-based movements, your body releases a class of potent chemicals known as myokines. These myokines act as tiny molecular messengers that travel through your bloodstream and perform a host of beneficial functions, including reducing systemic inflammation, improving your body's sensitivity to insulin, supporting optimal brain health and cognitive function, and even offering protective effects against specific chronic diseases. While walking does produce some of these beneficial effects, resistance-based movements such as the chair squat trigger a significantly more robust and beneficial response throughout your body. Let us also dedicate some time to discussing the crucial issue of balance. Falls represent one of the most significant and frightening threats to your independence once you pass the age of 60. A single fall can alter the entire trajectory of your life in an instant. The chair squat is a powerful tool for training your balance, honing your coordination, and enhancing your ability to stabilize your body under realistic everyday conditions. Each time you stand up and sit down slowly with deliberate control, your nervous system is actively learning and refining the intricate mechanisms required to keep you steady and upright. This precise neurological conditioning is exactly what you need to avoid the dangerous and life-altering falls that so many seniors face. Now, you might understandably be wondering, how frequently should I be performing this exercise, and what number of repetitions should I begin with? The answer is straightforward and highly adaptable to your personal circumstances. Start with a number of repetitions that you can safely and comfortably manage. For some individuals, this might mean starting with just 5 repetitions. For others, it could be 10 or even 15. The essential goal is to feel your muscles actively working without experiencing any sharp pain in your joints. Aim to practice this exercise once each day or at a minimum 3 to 4 times per week. As time passes and your strength gradually improves, you can increase your number of repetitions or further challenge yourself by slowing down the movement's tempo. And let me tell you something deeply inspiring and encouraging. I have personally witnessed individuals in their 70s and even their 80s who could barely manage to stand up from a chair without using both hands for support. And within just a few short weeks of consistently practicing this single focused movement, they were standing up smoothly and confidently, walking with noticeably more assurance, and feeling a remarkable sense of youthfulness in their bodies that they had not experienced in years. This journey is not about transforming yourself into an athlete or bodybuilder. This is fundamentally about safeguarding your personal freedom and autonomy. Of course, This does not mean that walking has no place in your life. Walking is undeniably wonderful for your mental health, your circulatory function, and gentle cardiovascular conditioning. However, if walking is the sole form of exercise you are currently doing, then you are inadvertently missing the most essential piece of the aging puzzle, and that piece is unequivocally strength. Without adequate strength, every movement becomes more difficult. Without strength, your balance inevitably weakens. Without strength, your cherished independence gradually fades away. And that is precisely the core reason why this one deceptively simple exercise is superior to walking alone for anyone over the age of 60. Now let us be perfectly clear and responsible in our approach. If you are currently experiencing severe joint pain, if you have recently undergone any form of surgery, or if you have a serious underlying medical condition, it is absolutely imperative that you speak with your doctor or a qualified physical therapist before you begin any new exercise routine. Your safety must always remain the top priority. Never, under any circumstances, should you push through sharp or acute pain. While mild muscle fatigue is a normal and expected sensation, sharp pain is a warning signal that you should never ignore. As we continue forward in this video, I am going to show you how to make this exercise even more potent and effective through small variations that you can easily perform in the comfort of your own home. I will explain how to strategically combine it with walking to achieve maximum overall results, and I will illustrate how just 5 dedicated minutes per day can completely transform the way your body feels within the next 30 days. And trust me, you are not going to want to miss a single moment of what I am about to share. Before we move any further, if the information I have already shared is proving helpful to you, I would be deeply grateful if you could take just 1 second right now to tap that like button, because your support truly helps this channel reach a wider audience of people who urgently need to hear this empowering message. And if you desire more straightforward, life-enhancing health and fitness guidance for strong, vibrant aging, please make sure to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell so that you never miss a future video. Now, let us take a deep, centering breath together. Relax your shoulders, release any tension you may be holding, and remember this fundamental truth. Your chronological age does not define your physical strength. Your past experiences and setbacks do not place a limit on your future potential, and your body, regardless of its current condition, is still remarkably capable of incredible improvements when you provide it with the right movement, the right consistency, and the right mindset. Now, let us gently delve deeper into this topic because I want you to have a complete and thorough understanding of why this simple chair movement is so extraordinarily powerful and how it can truly reshape the way your body feels with each passing day. You see, after the age of 60, your body undergoes several very specific physiological changes. Your hormone levels gradually and naturally decline. The transmission speed of your nerve signals tends to slow slightly, and your muscle fibers begin to atrophy and shrink if they are not sufficiently challenged. This is not a sign of failure on your body's part. This is simply the natural course of human biology. However, here is the beautiful truth that most people are never told, and it's a truth that experts like Dr. Alan Mandell have emphasized time and again. Your body continues to respond to strength training just as powerfully at 60, 70, and even 80 as it did when you were considerably younger. The response may be slightly slower, but the capacity to adapt and grow stronger remains intact. And the chair squat speaks directly to this innate system of rebuilding and regeneration. Every single time you slowly and deliberately lower yourself down, and then forcefully press your body back up to a standing position, you are transmitting a powerful, unmistakable signal through your muscles and your brain that communicates a clear message. We still need strength. We still need power. We still need coordination. and your body, in its remarkable intelligence, answers that signal by rebuilding muscle fibers, strengthening the crucial neural connections between your nerves and muscles, and enhancing the synchronized movement of your joints. Walking, by contrast, simply does not deliver that same strength building stimulus with sufficient intensity to create meaningful change. I want you to take a moment and vividly imagine something for me. Imagine waking up in the morning and being able to stand up from your bed without feeling stiff, unstable, or hesitant. Imagine being able to rise from a chair without needing to push off with your hands for leverage. Imagine climbing a flight of stairs without holding your breath or gripping the railing in fear. These are not fantasies or unrealistic dreams. These are the direct, tangible effects of building just a modest amount of additional strength in your legs, your hips, and your core. And this one single movement trains all of those essential areas simultaneously in the most practical and functional way imaginable. Now, let us address something extremely important that almost no one openly discusses, and that is the pervasive and often unspoken fear of falling. Many people over the age of 60 quietly and unconsciously limit their daily physical activity because they are afraid. They are afraid of slipping on an unexpected surface. They are afraid of losing their balance and being unable to catch themselves. They are afraid of falling and being unable to get back up again without assistance. And when this fear takes root in the mind, physical movement tends to decrease. When movement decreases, muscle weakness inevitably increases. And when weakness increases, the actual risk of falling becomes significantly higher. It is a dangerous and self-perpetuating cycle that can be incredibly difficult to break. Chair squats are the perfect tool to break that vicious cycle in the safest possible environment. You are practicing the exact physical skill that your body needs in order to recover from a low or seated position, all within a controlled and protected setting. And with each and every repetition you perform, your confidence grows steadily alongside your physical strength, creating a virtuous cycle of improvement. Let me also explain in greater detail why this exercise is so remarkably gentle on your joints when it is performed correctly. When you lower your body down slowly and with complete control, your muscles are doing the vast majority of the work and absorbing most of the load, rather than your knees or hips bearing the full brunt of the impact.